Welcome to the Buylist. This is episode 57.
This is not financial advice. This is cardboard. Shasha!
Whoa. No
What
scope
is
360 there.
happening,
360
Ted?
no man, Mistveil is happening. We are in it now, man.
We in it.
Pre-releases. Pre-releases are coming up as of recording this tomorrow. I'm excited about it. I'm going to a double header tomorrow, possibly one on Sunday. See how much. I just want to get my hands on packs, dude. Like I asked my wife, I was like, "You want to just like show up and drop?" Like I kind of want 8 packs, man. If this thing isn't at capacity, like give me them packs, man.
Gimme. Yeah. I have to work tomorrow, sadly, so I will only be able to make one pre-release. So big sad about that, but I got a lot of boxes on the way, so we're doing 200 boxes this time for this release. So we got a lot of cracking ahead of us, and we got the Memorial Day weekend in there, so pray for me.
yeah, that's it's a lot of work cracking boxes for sure.
Yeah. So what are we talking about this week, Ted? What do we got on the agenda?
Yeah, so the agenda since last week was just Majestic tier list, which popped off. I think kind of talking about that exactly, right? Our first 2,000 view video within like a week, which is like crazy. And it is another data point of like what we're going to be talking about tonight. And is that Mistveil might be the most popular Flesh and Blood set ever. Like this, the hype around this feels way different than Heavy Hitters, than Dusk Till Dawn. I thought Dusk Till Dawn hype was like insane. But this is a different level, man.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for all the support with the last video. That was like, that took us by surprise. So thank you to everyone. We appreciate you all. But yeah, it is, the level of excitement around this set is different. Like big, it gives big different energy. Like hearing it from sellers. Like I know like a private seller who moves a lot of boxes. He ordered more than he normally does and has already sold through everything.
Yeah.
He's out. He's just got what he's got for him personally.
Yeah. We have, and like to that point too, we have a couple things that we want to walk through and talk about, and like kind of why we're saying that the hype is different this time around. And like you just mentioned, I think that wasn't something we're going to talk about a bunch, but the private seller was like, yeah, it's gone. Like, this is insane. It's like, it's all gone. I think let's start talking about, since I mentioned this, we just talked about Majestics last week and nothing else, and it still took 2 hours. We didn't even talk about the product itself and like the secrets that dropped during the world premiere. How hyped were you when you saw that gold pack?
I don't know that I can legally say how excited I was. Like that was just like, excuse you? What did you just say? Like gold pack? What? Okay, what is in this gold pack? Like,
Ian was visibly shaking on camera. Everybody saw it. If you're a fan of Flesh and Blood, I was like, I sat up in bed. I was like, wait, what? What did they just do?
Sat up in bed twice.
The gold packs with the alt color spectral shields to protect the card inside. Just that's very smart on Ellis's side, right? Because I think they learned from Judge Packs. Judge Packs just being a single card inside a paper wrapper is like, sometimes Judge Packs can go pretty south on you. I've seen it, and it is a sad sight to see. So it's cool that they got 3 cards in there to protect the card. So this time around, and I'll get to why I'm saying this time around. So if you haven't heard of the gold packs, I'm sure everyone has.
Yeah.
They have the 2 different color spectral shields. They have a legendary Enigma young hero that is different than the young hero that is in the base set.
Yeah.
And then there is 100 English marvels of that hero spread across the world, kind of like what they did with the sketch cards in Dust Till Dawn. Kind of, right? Because that kind of spread it out. The interesting thing while we're talking about this is that means that the print run is set. It is not online yet, but that means if they seeded a print, that means it is done. So whatever they printed is whatever they printed. They can't go and print more, just like they
Um,
did with the sketch cards.
I don't know that that's necessarily true, right? Like they could always just print more. There's just no more Marvels.
Yeah, they would have to come out with some kind of announcement. I don't know if they want to. I don't know if that's the announcement you want to be making in a TCG. Like, yeah, by the way, we're printing another 50,000 boxes and they won't have the Marvel in it. Be like, oof.
I mean, like that's like kind of an okay announcement to make, though. Like, listen, guys, the the expectation for this product was not to sell this many boxes. We sold too many. Like, there's too much demand for this product. We are going to print another smaller wave, but there's no shot at this Marvel.
I think I did, and
I,
we're gonna get into this a little bit more, but I think you won and done this, and then whatever it is whatever it is.
I think it's
Um,
probably one and done. And like
yeah,
so
I think
like
it's good for the game to just be one and done. And if it's like, yeah, you don't got it, you like it's gone, it's gone. I
yeah
think a lot of Fab 2.0 honestly has been this way. So, like we talked about it a couple episodes back, Nate, but I think Fab 2.0 is in this like limbo where they haven't announced print runs or anything like that. And um I think I don't know. These boxes kind of just disappear, and Fab 2.0 has kind of been in like this. Everyone's kind of holding their breath on it, right? And I think we're hopefully we get a collector's week soon, and then we can kind of get a sense of Fab 2.0 and how that works. But
yeah, I think
um,
they've like slowly dialed back the print runs, and I think like I don't think people remember, but there was a point at the release of Heavy Hitters where you couldn't get more from distro. It was like
mhm,
a week, so there like the market never like truly dried up, but it wasn't
mhm,
available at distro for a little bit. It came in stock very
yeah,
quickly. I think we might see that with part the Mistveil, but I think that might last a little longer. Um,
yeah. Well,
so we
we
can
have a
let's talk about the implications though first of the gold card because I think this is actually really
yeah,
cool. Um,
yes,
the only thing you can get in it right now is the like alts blitz enigma hero, which is like it's like it's basically like a legendary pack. You always know you're getting a legendary
I
out of it, but
yeah.
what,
Full disclosure, Nate, and we you know me, I DM'd you right away.
yeah,
Not like I'm okay, let's make this very clear. I'm very thrilled about the gold pack. I think it is an awesome thing to add to boxes. I think it's great that it's not just a box topper, like you buy a box and you get this thing.
yes,
I think it's good that it's 1 in 20 boxes. It will drive boxes to be sold and opened, which
mhm,
is like perfect for LGSs. But I was disappointed. There was like if like the smallest knock on it right now is that it is only the Enigma in the pack.
mhm,
I think LSS like you I'd bet my house that LSS knows this fact that if the next gold pack and the next set or whenever they do this again is like 3 cards and they're like alt arts, like a Ravenous Rabble alt art per se,
yeah,
and you have to find 1 in 20 and then it's like,
yeah, and then you
yeah,
need to,
then
yeah.
we're cooking, dude. Oh man.
Yes. Yeah. This is pretty clearly the trial. And I think that we've seen them kind of trial these things before. Like Mar
Hmm.
Marvels weren't a thing, but Starvo released. not a Marvel, but a double-sided cold foil. And then
People
they
loved
launch
it.
Marvels, right? Like
Yeah.
they trickle these things out, see what the response is, see if they need one that it works and that they
Yep.
can execute on it. Because if they put like let's say they put 5 cards in the gold pack and like all different like it's one card, maybe 5 different variants
Hmm.
or something like that. But then they like something goes wrong at the printers, like an outsider situation. Like
Yeah.
they're trying to
Yeah.
mitigate like the rollout and the feels bad. Let's
Yeah.
start very simple, make sure we can execute on it, and then we will introduce complications. It's how they built the whole game out. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
What like they released WTR, simple but straightforward. And even though Monarch was supposed to be the true launch of the game, because they wanted to slowly integrate the complication into the game and didn't want
Yeah.
to just be like, here's a complicated game, figure it out. And that's what they're
Yeah.
doing with these gold packs. It's like, here's a very simple thing. It's cool, it's fun, it's exciting to find.
Yeah.
We're gonna do something crazy with this in a set or two. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I think
it
you
also
bring
gives
up a
like
good point.
LGSs like a real reason to not just sell sealed boxes, to
Mhm.
open boxes and sell packs in stores. And like everyone's gonna be like, "Ree, they gotta give the gold pack to a little kid because he's gonna love it." And it's like, no, they don't have to. Packs are
No.
packs, right? Like packs are like it's a
Yeah.
bonus pack. The store can do with it what they will. The only fair
Yeah.
thing for them is to make money and
Yeah.
sell
Yeah. Yes. Like let's not mince words here, right? If a store is opening a box to sell packs, they 100% should like look right at the bottom before they put that box on the shelf. And if it has a gold pack, you pull it out and you either put it, if you're selling singles of fab, you open it and sell it on your in your store for
it.
singles, or you put it on TCG Player. Like
Yeah.
let's like I saw some of that on Twitter and I was like, we're overcomplicating things, guys. Like the LGSs need to make money. We've been very clear about that on this channel, and I think it is a boon for them. Right? Let's just yeah. It's straight up. That's how it is. And I wanted to kind of circle back to a point you made. Right? Is like as I was like slightly disappointed that there was only like 2 hits and one is like the Omega hit. Right? One
Yeah.
in a hundred over the whole print run. Um, you have a great point. I've mentioned it before. I work in manufacturing. I'm an engineer. Implementing like 5 different cards into a pack that the printer hasn't, they've done like box toppers and stuff, but now they're putting them in 1 in 20. There's a lot of variables there, and it could just go wrong, right?
Mhm.
And then like too many boxes have them, too little. It's a lot. And so like if they limited the number of variables, it helps them. So that's a great point. I actually didn't really think about that too much, but I did think about another like sidestep point to that is cost, right? And let's not forget that this costs LSS money to do.
Mhm.
And it's probably again, I think I've said this multiple times. I think you would be shocked at how much it costs for LSS to do something like this. And I've said this about Marvels and stuff, right? Every time you enter in mass manufacturing, when you start like putting different things in, and then with the, just how everything works, it gets very expensive very quickly. And again, just doing one, seeing how it's recepted, see how it affects box sales, and then committing the larger cost to or the larger expenditure later on to do more than one card per pack is a very smart thing to do, like you said.
It the you think about like every other TCG. They just do the box. Maybe they do a box topper. But like LSS continues to like try to push the boundaries and
Hmm.
the products that they are producing. And like, I don't know. It's just super cool because you never know what to expect
Yeah.
out of them. Like, and that's what's funny is like, I try not to price my like people are asking me like, hey, what are you thinking for like pricing on some of these cards? I'm like, I would love to just be like, here's the price, but like you never
Yeah.
know what to expect in these boxes. You don't know if they've changed like the print distribution. You don't even know like what you're gonna end up with at the
Mm,
end of the day. So I want to make sure before I try to sell anything, I've got it all in hand, which is probably to my own detriment. But um,
yeah.
it is
I think
I can't wait to open.
yeah, and you know, the gold pack, I think as we kind of wrap up this topic and move on to the next one about why Mistveil is so hype, or why we know it's going why the hype is really crazy. Gold packs I think are a large driver of that. I think people want to find them, people want to open them. You know, the lotto ticket at getting that 1 in 100, you know, that 100 over the world is like a big deal.
Yep.
But I think let's kind of like moving on from that and talking about another thing. So I heard from a source this week that um, an LGS that they were working with, also there was an allocation on Mistveil boxes, and this source told me that their store hasn't run events since Bright Lights, so it's been a minute.
Hmm.
They were able to order, I guess they were able to order heavy hitters with like little to no problem,
Hmm.
like pre launch. They were told by distro this time that they were not running events, so they were being cut. I think they did. Let's be clear. I think they did get some product. It wasn't like, nope, you get nothing, you get punished. But it was, hey, you know, we are allocating towards stores that are running events in gym, and this is how it is, right? We can only provide you this many boxes. Um, Now it's like, Ted, why are you bringing this up? And like the hype section, why is this hype? Because I think it shows, first of all, Mistveil is very wanted by a lot of stores, but I think it also shows that LSS is starting to take it really serious about how they allocate boxes in this like factory middleman that LSS has set, or factory, sorry, warehouse, their own warehouse middleman
Yeah.
system that they've set up.
Yeah. They're starting to take a lot more control of the process, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
I think especially for stores that aren't running events, like why would they be ordering? Like it sounds like there was a pretty hefty order and it got cut.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Yep.
if you are not running events, why would you need like 50, 80, 100 boxes? Like there's no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like what player base
Yep.
is ordering that from you?
Yeah.
You're just either selling online
So
or you're like just cracking it and selling the singles, or you're just like selling under the table at
yeah.
like low cost. So like it's not helping the ecosystem, and it's actively hurting and like basically preventing us from getting out of this like everything has to be map cycle. Like that's the only
Yes.
pricing you have is
Yeah.
like
So
so if you're going to go try to compete, you look at all the bigger stores in the game right now. You got
yeah.
SCG selling Slither promos. You got Team Covenant with what was their promo this set? I don't even remember.
Whoops. I don't know either.
Oh, please. Yeah.
But you know, while you're looking that up, I'll add a point here. So the counterpoint to what we're just saying, Nate, is like, but wait, they're still selling product that's good for fab, right?
Yeah.
Well, no. Like you said, like if you're flooding the market with a bunch of boxes way under map, it's not great. And also it hurts LSS's data on right sizing
Good runs.
the print runs,
Yeah.
which is like the enemy like that they've been fighting since COVID. And a great example of this is like I was talking to a friend of mine and they're like, oh, they're just artificially making the product scarce then, right? That was like the instant snap, like, oh, they're just like, you know, I hear it all the time, right? Like, oh, they're just artificially making it scarce. They're just making it harder to get. I'm like, no, like they're very obviously trying to right size the print run, these print runs, so that they balance that. And like you said, we need to get out of this map cycle.
Yeah.
Boxes
And
boxes can't just always be $85. Like, and I think we've talked about this before, and we can kind of like go quickly, but it's just like if a store can't make money on it or is not making a lot of money on it and not seeing like a push for it, why would they choose Fab over Star Wars Unlimited? Why would they choose it over Magic? Star Wars Unlimited is MSRP like day one, and now it's $250 a box, and people are clamoring for it. So why would you run a Fab event over a Star Wars event right now if you're an LGS? You wouldn't. So I think that allocation, what I heard is great. I think it's smart that they are trying to take a hold of that and like make sure the boxes go where they're supposed to. But yeah, I think that's overall a big positive for Flesh and Blood.
yes, I think the most important thing too is like to. I don't think people realize either. Like the boxes being at map actually hurt the smaller game stores the most, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and not to say like SEG gets promos, Team Covenant gets promos, Rudy gets promos, like, and then you see other large stores who are like, here's store credit if for singles if you buy a case with us, or here's a deck
Mm-hmm.
box if you buy a case with us. And they're doing it because they're doing it on such a large scale. They can't sell at under map, so they're like circumventing map. But these smaller game stores can't do that with because they don't have
Yeah.
that kind of volume. And like Team Covenant basically like was the first store that did Fab in the US. So like it is nice that LSS recognizes that and gives them like a cool promo. And like SCG runs all the events and they actually do a very good job. They don't put us in tents. Super cool. Rudy
Yeah.
has been like pumping like the
Super
collector
good.
side of this since day one.
Yeah.
So like it's cool that they can give them, but they also like we're starting to see them actually limit some of these promos, which is refreshing to see because it is like hard to be like, all right, why would I buy something from
Yeah.
SCG when I could, or why would I buy from my local game store when I could get Slither promos from SCG? Huh, guess what? The Slither
Yeah.
promos are sold out with
Yeah.
SCG already.
Next topic. Yeah. So
Like,
that's another thing that's really new that Nate and I took note of, right?
yeah,
Is as of this recording right now, SEG was sold out of their special bundle promos of the Slither Cold Foil. And and they've just updated their website because we checked before we started recording. They are now just selling product. Those promos kits seemingly look to be sold out, which holy moly, that is wild.
holy moly
Like,
guacamole.
can can we talk about how they had to like bundle cold foil hyperdrivers with like other products? Like, yeah, I know Bright Lights isn't the best example, but like I don't think I can remember. I guess comment down below if you remember this happening before, but I don't think I've ever seen the SCG promo kits like officially sell out. I think they literally get taken down after some time, and then like SCG does something else with the promos.
They did like
Uh,
a big old promo
so
sale because like they
yeah, they
like
were selling the mats too. Remember, it was
yeah,
the Leave
it
No
was like
Witness mat was like
yeah,
bundled with some random shit.
yeah, like they haven't run out of promos because they just have like such a glut of them. And I think like it's actually very good that it's kind of been taken note of and reduced because
Mm-hmm.
like if Star City Games just has like endless promos with their cases and the store
Yeah,
can sell at the same price as SCG, it's so much harder for that store to make that sale. And like we want to
yeah,
encourage the local
yeah,
game stores to carry the game and not have to go up against these Goliaths at with like one arm tied behind their back. So it's really cool. But also I think it still goes to show the absolute hype that like I'm sure they probably at least
yeah,
got like 4,000 promos. I have no idea. Maybe not 4,000. I don't know. Rudy got
yeah,
4,000. Like
yeah.
how many they
I
get
think
and how they sell through so fast.
yeah. Like you said, like maybe they got less. I don't know, man. I don't see why they would have got less promos. So it's possible that both things are true,
Yeah.
but also even if it is a little bit less and they still sold through them all, it's insane. It's crazy, dude. Like I think this set is selling out. Like buckle up because I think if you were scrounging up for heavy hitters, and kind of felt that wave one burn, I think Mistveil is uh, going to be the same way. Again, like it's funny talking about these things, Nate, because it's like I'm actively like, oh, this sucks a little bit. Like from the consumer side, you're like, damn, I've just been used to like drinking from the fucking fountain of you're just like drinking from the like fire hose, right? We just never, this is like as far as you can see $85 boxes, but like realistically it has to be
Yeah.
this has to be adjusted at some point. And I
Yeah.
think they're doing it the right way by making boxes really interesting to open, right? We haven't even talked about the marbles and shit in the set, like
Which look nuts.
they're just like insane, dude. It's so cool. Yeah, so it's like there's a lot of reasons to open this set, so I'm excited to see how this pans out.
Same.
The next thing that is interesting and like hype driven is continuing with SEG. They released their pre-orders this week.
Yep.
They learned like heavy hitters, they learned a lesson. They did not have ridiculous prices.
They did have some ridiculous prices.
There was some that fell through, but there was a lot that were like, okay, that's fair-ish. Heavy hitters was like things were like $10 too cheap, and it was just like buy every single one. Like,
buy anything that you can get into your cart quick enough to actually hit the submit button on. Yes.
And so if you're not aware, SEG puts out their pre-orders. They put out a limited amount, and then it sells out. And then once something sells out, they adjust the price by like $3 to $5 up, depending on the card. Probably like $5 each time. So let's pick on Cheese Strike. We put that in a banger to your list. And so I can't remember where it started. I think it started at like 11 or $12 when you sent it to me.
I think it was like 13.
Okay, $13.
Yeah.
It's currently in stock at what, $31 right now.
Yes.
So I didn't watch this happen, but I would say it like from what I've seen, that means it's sold out like 5 times over, and they've upped the price 4 to 5 times.
It went to like I think 18, and then I want to say it went to like 20, like 2 or 23, and then like 28, and then 30. And it just got, as soon as it went back in stock, it just got blitzed. They some of them were like real cheap. I picked up 9 the weakest link for $6 each, because that was way too cheap.
Someone slipped.
Yeah,
somebody slipped.
But like even some of the legendaries, like one of my buddies posted, he picked up the hat and the gauntlet for I think like $90.
The cold foil?
No, rainbow foil for both. But the chi hat and the generic gauntlet for $90. Sign me up.
Rainbow foil though, I think the gauntlet made them. I don't know. We'll see. The gauntlet is situational. We've been chatting about this all week offline. I think you're too high on the chi hat rainbow foil. The chi hat the chi hat cold foil.
Chi hat's give me $100. Don't at me.
Yeah, Apex Bone Breaker. All right. But I mean, yeah, it's like there's a lot of like, if you just ask around, you pay attention like we have, Nate. I know you definitely have, because you're cracking boxes. It is, yeah, this hype is different. There's obviously a ton of hype on the play side. The set just looks insane. Like these heroes don't play like anything from heavy hitters. Like I mentioned it in the tier list, right? It was very easy to just like boot up the tier list, hit record for heavy hitters, and be like, Nate, this card says 6 on it. This card says +3. This card says +2. And it was just like, yeah, I could tell. But like last week, you could see me a couple times. I was just like, help. Like, I don't know where, like, this is like a weird thing to evaluate in Flesh and Blood. Like, pulling cards out of their hand and making them block with it is like, sounds good, but like, is it good enough? I don't know.
Yeah, dude, if I could like redo the tier list, I think I might change a couple things around after playing with the cards more. But
Yeah.
Man, it is just like it is such a cool set, and like this set is just like a deck builder's dream.
Yeah.
And I know like some people, like there's more variance in the game, which I think like is something that they are like leaning towards.
Mm-hmm.
So Michael Hamilton and Michael Funk and Brody don't win everything. Love you guys. I want you to win everything, but like
Y'all
I would
are.
like the top 8 one thing in my life.
Yeah. But you got to get good.
I do need to get good. You are right.
Like,
No doubt there.
did you ever think about starting there, Nate?
Yeah, I've been on a steep decline since Lil. It's basically I've gotten like worse and worse at every single event. Actually, that's not true. I finished 18th at Calling Vegas.
That's actually pretty legit.
Yeah, so not bad there. Uh, so
Yeah,
it's I think this is what Flesh and Blood needed though to be more appealing to a wider audience as well. Like some of these cards are absolute jank dream boats. I don't know what I'm
yeah,
saying anymore, but that like I look at like was it the 10,000 year reunion? That card's a jank dreamboat if I've ever seen one.
yeah,
Choo choo. We throwing a train in there too. Like
yeah. I think, there's been a long. I watched the Dev podcast this week, and I think, I don't remember the exact quote, but I left with this sense of, and there's been a lot of talk. If you're on, I have to be on Twitter because I have to tweet like one thing every 2 days or something.
yeah, because I
This
quit.
it's part of the channel.
Yeah.
So I take in a lot more Twitter than I probably should. I'm getting a lot of like, this is nuts, like news unfair, this enigma is unfair. There's a lot of it, and I know a lot of it's just hyperbolic, right? Um, I refuse until I actually see it at an event where it's like 8 news in the top 8, or not even that, right? But you know what I'm saying? I'm exaggerating. I refuse to accept that like LSS just like somehow built the heavy hitters meta and then ruined it in one set. Like until I see it, like I'm not saying it's impossible, Nate, but I'm saying I'm not going to just like jump on this train of like, yep, ruined. We're back in Monarch. This is Tales of Aria. It's like the game's over. But what I've seen out of these cards is things like, this is gonna sound really bad. Like, this can be construed wrongly, but it looks a little bit like Monarch. It looks a little bit like Tales, right? Where like I watched We Make Best Bonds in Deck Tech, and I'm like, bro, that looks like chain things, right? Like that was like, I'm gonna do 35. Like, you know what I mean? And obviously he's drawing like 2 Art of Wars, and he has Chi, and he has like Ancestral Harmony, and he's just like bullying people, right? And I'm just like, whoa. So there's like, I think it's like a direct answer to, to all this, like, well, it's just a numbers game, right? And I think Brian was talking about that. Is saying like, yeah, it was just a numbers game, but it's just not always going to be a numbers game. We're going to put out stuff that's weird and funky and kind
Yeah.
of does weird shit. Like New does weird shit. Like in Flesh and Blood, dude, the stuff that she's doing is like,
None of it makes any sense. I
yeah.
I think I told everyone when I saw that hero, I was like, so you're telling me you want to play someone else's cards that they don't want to play. I probably said it on this channel. I was like, that sounds
Yes,
terrible.
yes.
No one wants that. That's garbage. Like, who wants to be actively playing their own blues? Nobody. They want to block with them and pitch them. Like, cool, it's adorable in the Guardian, but like, what are you gonna do? Attack for dishonor for 2? That's garbage. Like, just get out of here with that. But like, you think
But
about
you
like
forgot that. what you didn't know is that when it's like 9 blue cards that all attack for 2 but have go again,
Yes.
and it's just like go again, go again, go again, go again, and then you're like, huh, that was a lot of cards, but they're all free and they're not even in my deck or in my hand or
Yeah.
anything. It's like that's pretty good value.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all right. Okay. I see
It's
you.
like
I see you.
you were 50% right. They definitely didn't want to play that blue whatever with go again for 2 or 1. But when you play it for free with go again, it's all right.
Right.
But
And what's funny is like she doesn't activate her hero ability that often because her mask is freaking broken. Like,
yeah.
it's just like, sure, it's 1-for-1, but it's like 1-for-1 at instant speed.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like you've been laughing at me because an update from my declaration that Vincent was like got a good matchup, but then also just gets bodied by new. So I wandered into the Purple Discord Vincent channel to see see what was going on, and oh baby Nate, we're on full reds. We're running 2 blues in the deck now, baby. we're going red line 100% Vincent now. We're playing blood tributes. We're playing we're playing ravenous ravels. We're playing red pumpkins. Oh yeah.
That looks cute. Can't wait to see you play that. I'm not even gonna ask questions. You know, whatever. I'm not even gonna ask questions.
I
But this is
dude,
like
I went in there and saw this deck and I was just like, respect. I
Ted.
love seeing blood tribute in a deck. That's sweet.
If you want to look at our DMs, it is Ted messaging me, "Is this real?" And then messaging me 3 other things, but while I'm at work. And then like when I finally get a chance to respond, I just respond to the most recent message, and then he responds back, "So it is real. You're ignoring it." I was like, "No, I just forgot to respond to it." But if I
Yeah.
told him Vincent was a real deck, he'd be like, "No, it's not. It's not real.
No,
It's
it's
not
not.
chain. It ain't real."
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
So I don't know, man. I think I don't know. I'm super positive on this. I think we've said this before. I sound like a broken record here, but like I honestly think after seeing the world's premiere, and I've been telling people this privately, and maybe I mentioned it on the pod. I think this is the start of something for Fab. Um, and like we've been on like this steady increase, and I think with Japan coming on board and just like the crazy things I've heard about like from people on the floor talking about how much hype there was and how the vendors were
We
like
can talk about
engaged
Japan
and
real
like
quick too, because we got other scoops there too. Japan's out of print.
mm,
No more. No more distro. No more LSS warehouse. Japan gone. The Japanese print at
mhm.
least completely
Yeah,
gone.
which is not surprising but also okay.
Okay, I see you.
Yeah, yeah. So new no, not new, sorry, Enigma anime Marvel variant and Japanese Mask of Momentum. Yeah, that might become an
Yeah.
omega level collectible. But no, I mean I think it's with that print run being out of print, and then I'm excited, man. I hope I've heard murmurs, right? People have asked James White at PTLA about Collectors Week.
Mhm.
There was I think it was vague, but it's still coming. It's not something that it's something that they still plan on doing, which I was really happy to hear. So I will be looking forward to when that happens.
Yeah.
So we need a lot of updates on that. But yeah, I think I don't know. Like I said, I think this is the start of something, and I'm excited to see where it's going.
Buckle your britches, people, because it's about to get wild.
And then like we got set 14 right. Like, dude, it feels like set 14 is right around the corner for some reason. It's like it feels super close. We got the Bolton deck coming out. James White admitted that next year Armory decks will have new heroes in them, which you heard it here first. We talked about that a
Definitely heard it
lot a
somewhere
couple weeks
else
ago.
first.
I don't know. I think we were talking about that like from the get, like bring back LL heroes, bring back
Oh,
or
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I thought you were trying
But
to
he
share that news like we were the first people to share it. Like it's like, bruh, that was like on like
yeah,
national television.
James White sent me a DM in Discord and be like, yo, Dad, I'll hook you up, bro. No, but we speculated about how cool that would be for them to be able to reintroduce like an Earth hero randomly or Chain, even though James White said Chain's never coming back. that, oof. I know what he meant, that like the power level of Chain's never coming back, but like just hearing that was like shot to the heart, James. That really hurt.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
I was like, no, Chain can come back.
I have fond memories of Chain. I was helping test the LL format and just playing Chain again. Man, you just like
He was so broken, but the
dude,
puzzle that he the puzzle that he was, and like the I always say this, like people were just like, yeah, dude, of course you beat it, you played like the most broken hero, right? Other than Starvo. It's like, yeah, but like you have to play him once to understand what the like minutia of that deck was. And it's just like the sequencing, the puzzling, the just like understanding what's in your graveyard, what are you banishing, like yeah, it's unrivaled in this game.
yeah.
And that's why yeah, so cool. Yeah, we are rambling at this point.
Ted was worried we wouldn't have enough to talk about this week and that we needed a rant. But the rant is like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and go to bed, Brian. It's way too freaking
I
late.
think I think Carol might. I think hopefully Carol still finds time to listen to us, and I would like just to say, Carol, if you are listening, let the boys on the last episode of the Dev podcast with Brian hosting, let them know that they tried to do their best impression of rambling and not ending a podcast like the pros here. It was okay, 8 out of 10.
It made us feel a lot better. Like
We're
what
the
the
pros
guys
here.
can't even do it. Like we're just true professionals like them. Oh
Yeah, I was laughing so hard when they ran out of Steve, and it was just like, yeah, that thing, like we are right now.
yes, yep, exactly. So with that said, you better put your money where your mouth is.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.